did some update to this app. Now apparently if I get a phone call, it bumps me off of there. Alright, so hopefully people are getting back in there. So I was answering a question about how important tracking the planetary variables are in magic, because sometimes you need to, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I always say, like, especially, just, recently, everybody going on and on and on about Mercury retrograde, and now Mercury's like Satan. Mercury's blamed for like anything in the world that could possibly go wrong, where Mercury used to just be about communications and travel, and these kind of things were affected by Mercury. Now, anything that goes wrong in anybody's life, they're bitching about Mercury and blaming it on Mercury, and I say, that's unacceptable. If Mercury's affecting your life, and Mercury retrograde is a thing, do some magic to compensate for that force. Do something to ride with that force. The analogy I've been using is that we need to evolve. Our ancestors evolved. Once upon a time, they figured out how to sail across the ocean because they invented the broad sail. The problem with the broad sail is the wind had to be at your back, or you couldn't go where you needed to go. And you're just sitting out at sea for days, waiting for the winds to blow favorably to get to where you needed to go. Eventually, some of our ancestors invented the triangular sail, which is the one we tend to use today. And with the triangular sail, you can sail into the wind at an angle. You can tap through the wind. You can get where you're going against the wind. Take the reins, not the ride. We need triangular sails in magic. We need to be able to sail into these forces and get to where we're going, not necessarily against them. Magic follows the path of least resistance. We're not going against the forces. There's a way, just like the sail, we can weave against these streams while going with them. And with the analogy of the triangular sail, we're still using those energies that are pushing seemingly against us to propel us forward. Now, like you said in your question, sometimes you've got to do the spell, and it's not the best time to do it. So go big. Do the spell bigger. Add more things to it. Do it longer. More fire. Just, exercise fire safety. Compensate for the resistance by more force. Magic follows the path of least resistance, but more force can get through resistance. And sometimes, that's not the analogy of the sail, but sometimes that's what you got to do. Do a larger thing. You're going to do a little candle spell, do a huge spell, where you're meditating for 4 hours on the thing. Just make it bigger, basically. All right, let me see. So now I got a bunch of questions here. Neophyte. Yeah, yes. I was upside down. They changed that when they updated the app to, like my phone can just figure out and make me right side up. Let's see. Got a window blocking that. What is your expert advice with the disturbing effects of elemental balancing? Is it done by the Golden Dawn as well as in the crowd? Josh, balance has become one of those buzzwords of the New Age and all spiritualities that popped up during that time and used a lot in a lot of witchcraft. And it's used too much. Something that is completely balanced goes nowhere. A chop just spins in the same place. It's unbalanced. It goes a little bit that way. It goes a little bit that way. Temperance. I like temperance more. And when it comes up in my my tarot deck, it's always it's it's using analogies that I like. Tempered steel, I talk about that. When you temper a sword, you make it stronger, and each time you temper the sword, you make it stronger. And the way you temper it is kind of balancing out of elements and then back into them. In other words, we heat the steel, fire. We pound the steel, that's earth. We put it in water, it's water. We cool it in the air, that's air. Then we heat the steel, pound the steel, cool the steel, water, air, over and over and over. And we're making it stronger, we're making it a better tool. But we're doing that by purposefully unbalancing the balance and then back into balance. Old words that people don't talk about very much have a whole lot of meaning. A lot of people used to call it, the crooked path, the twisted path. A lot to that. Walking in between worlds. One foot in there, one foot in there, one foot in there, one foot in there. But you're not balanced in the middle. You're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Attack, progress. Let's see, security camera systems. I think I'm being blocked. Blocked how? Say that shit instead. Yes. Good luck spell. Okay. Bunch of comments, some questions. Probably, yeah. This day and age, like some of the best good luck spells that I think of, something goes in the pocket, something you carry around, something's always getting your energy, something you hold in your hand. Good luck, there's days when my luck's better than other days. On the days that I'm feeling lucky, you want to give this thing some energy. I was like, if the money charm, on days, on payday, that's when I want to be giving this energy, not when I'm broke. I'm giving it energy when I'm not broke, then it's going to have the energy I need later down the line. So, for good luck, a high John root with bathe. I like to always take the high John roots and bathe them in the oil, or dress them in the oil that I'm going to use, like, a good luck or a gambling oil of some kind. I'm thinking high John, Galangal, Irish moss, and then other things, a sigil for luck, little things associated with luck. People get little charms, like, a horseshoe, aces, cards, that kind of thing. Put them in the mojo bag. For luck, I'd want something, a stimulating color like orange. Orange is, a harvesty color, so it has its earthy properties, but it's part fire too. It's leaning into the fire, and I'm gonna, for luck, I'm gonna want something stimulating. That or the little thing. Let's see. Do you pour your candles on the day of your spell? Day of your spell. Do you pour your candles on the day of your spell? Do you pour your candles on the day of your spell? Preparing a love spell. Okay, so I'm assuming you're making your own candle. I'd probably pour the candles the day before. I'm probably going to be in good energy right then, but sometimes candles do a weird thing. They'll be hollow in the middle. They'll sink down in a bit. Or maybe the night before. I don't want to get right to spell time and not have something I need not ready to go. It would frustrate me at the time of the spell. Sapman. Hi, John. Hey, John. I think, well, John T, I believe. Yeah, T Gyun, I believe. Yes. Well, that's the guy that suggested I should teach witchcraft on YouTube all those many years ago. Y'all like it? Thank John T right there. And Mandrake. Yeah, Mandrake would be good. Mostly here on the West Coast, European mandrakes, harder to get and really expensive. And American mandrake is not really the same plant. But if you went out looking for mandrake around here, that's probably what you'd be finding is American mandrake.
You find it online for cheap, you know it's American mandrake.
You hear that? Just in case, find out what the right of me. If you find it online for cheap, it's American mandrake. It should be expensive.
It just says mandrake, it's American.
The stuff that when I think I still carry it online. I don't have it in stock right now, but it just says mandrake, and it's American mandrake. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we have it like in the notes that it's American mandrake, or we have the actual botanical name for the plant, which indicates that it's American mandrake. Let's see. I'd love for you to do an herb class on Gumroad like in the early days. I love plants. Well, thank you, whoever the hell. That's a good one.
Like Adventures in Plant Matter?
Yeah. Real good. Let's see. Neophyte. Okay, that's a really good suggestion, Neophyte. I'll try and remember to give you credit.
Like around the neighborhood.
Absolutely. We got new plants, different plants.
Take Abby for a walk.
Yeah, we got a dog now. Hi from Denmark. Okay, John. Oh, thank you, John. I'd love to take credit, but it wasn't me. Oh, okay, that's the wrong John. All right, well, thanks for thanking John, but I thought it was John, I think it's Tigon. But God, I forget what his name is, but I think he still has a YouTube channel. A student of mine, he was like 13 years old. He showed up to 3 out of 5 intro to witchcraft classes, and I heard he was out on YouTube teaching witchcraft. I found his channel, and this kid had absorbed everything that I had taught him and more, and retranslated it into his own words, and was teaching on YouTube. He's doing a damn good job. And I complimented him on it, and he said, "You should do that." And, yeah, rest is history. I'm sure I've told that story before. Let's see. Looking forward to the news this eve, Marta. Wow, yeah, put some pressure on her, why don't you? No, maybe before we have our guest on.
Been following the news in the last couple of days?
Yeah. Marta's been busy on her own projects, and probably, it's the same crap. Haven't missed anything. We're still trying to get Mueller's report and all that.
And the taxes.
And yeah, same show every day. But yeah, tonight on Wittershins we have a guest. As Bjorn Butte Torval. I think he's just Darren Taylor now. The mage formerly known as Bjorn Butte. This new project, Torval. It's new project, Presoteric. And we'll be talking tonight about normalizing magic. A word I have a problem with, but we'll be talking about that tonight on Wittershins. But I'm Uncle Birch, for those of you who don't know. We got a packed house in here, people from all over shouting hi, all over the world. God, I always get a lot of hits in Norway. Let's see. Okay. All right, a lot of people are just saying hi right now. But I am on this teaching frenzy at gumroad.com/witch school. And I have a new course, a new year and a day course. It's going to open up April 29th. That's a couple weeks away. If you're interested in that, you can secure your spot by contacting me at witchschool@gmail.com, which is, of course, WITCHSKEWL @gmail.com. But then the class can be hosted at gumroad.com/witch school, which is, of course, WITCHSKEWL. Now, if it's before April 29th, don't click on the year and a day class that's there. For some reason, it still lets people sign up. Unless you want to take half a class and miss the first half, that class is, a month or two into that class. And I had a couple people accidentally click on that class and sign up for it, and then thinking that they were signing up for the other class. The way it's working, if you want to secure your spot, you contact me at the whichschool@gmail address, and I'll confirm that your spot's secure. April 29th, I open it up willy-nilly to anybody who wants to sign up for the class. They go there, they click on it until it is full. There's some arbitrary number. I don't know what the number is. The class will be full, but I am able to secure these spots for the people I know definitely want to take the class. So you want to take your chances. You wait till April 29th, and I'll be putting out I'll be doing something like this, an announcement that it's up. Tell your wife, I said hi. Love me, Fro said hi, honey.
Hi.
She said hi. Do you have a link to the show? No. You go to, what is it now? No, it's not Gumroad. Oh, Spreaker. SPREAKER.com/user/Wittershins. Or if you're on one of my pages, there should be a link, because the show gets rebroadcast on YouTube later after the show. But it's Spreaker.com/user/Wittershins. Unfortunately, Spreaker does not have a way to pre-schedule the show and have a link there ready for you to click on at showtime. Showtime is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Usually we play a few songs to warm ourselves up, and then I share the show on all of the social media pages that there are. So you can go to @Wittershins on Facebook, get on that page, and get a notification that way. Or I think I usually announce it on my Uncle Birch page, on my Michael Carell page, and on Twitter. I'm Michael Carell4 on Twitter. The show gets announced there, and it posts a link. So at 5 p.m., a link will magically appear. Let's see. By the way, can we find a shirt with the logo? Okay. We need to do that. Marta's going to be busy with some projects, but I bet that's something I can pull off on. What's that place we do? Vistaprint. People want Wittershins shirts.
We could go to Vistaprint.
Just take the logo. Yeah.
I've done like tote bags and stuff.
Yeah, I've done the
I've
Sacred
been
Grove
talking
shirts.
about merch for a long time.
You have.
Let's do
It's time.
Let's do a t-shirt, hoodie, and a wife beater.
I think we can even do coffee cups and shit.
Yeah.
Pens. We stick our logo on anything we want.
Let me look it up right now.
Okay, Marto's not busy right now. Have a happy fucking day, Phil. Hello, Lance. Thank you. All right, so lily pad, another good idea. We'll be able to figure that out. What would be a good method to protect your vehicle travel? Dear. God, the best spell I ever saw, there's this one that Mom had, Judith Dufresne. It was and back then, classic mojo bags, clearly, the woman that was teaching me witchcraft borrowed things from everywhere. And she had so many things in her bag of tricks that a lot of things that I was learning once I came to study hoodoo, have all the components of hoodoo, and most of her mojo bags were a red cotton bag. And that's the most traditional color for a mojo bag. Red bags for all of the purposes on Earth. An Italian protection bag that's a lot like a mojo bag, but it's not called that. It's a charm bag. Had protective herbs in it, but it was typically a black cloth tied with a red string. And protective herbs, piece of silver. Hopefully you heard that with the ghetto bird. A piece of silver is really good. The witchcraft without BS Wittershins was great. Thank you. Yeah, that's why we had to do it twice. We got a lot of hits on that one. But vehicle travel, 3 cat's claws. You can't buy them from distributors. Hopefully they're not still on my website because I'm not doing business with that distributor. I'm not sure who I get that one from, but 3 cat's claws in that bag was really important. And now hold on. All right, 3 cat's claws, 3 pieces of silver, be they silver coins, jewelry, whatever you've got. Did I say 3 protective herbs? You choose. I would definitely want frankincense in there, and I always want a heater in this kind of bag. Galangal is good. Has protective qualities and other good qualities. But it's a heater. Cinnamon would be good. But then there's this sigil. Hold on just a minute. Bear with me, people. This, from my recollection, was the sigil. Unless you can find out there somewhere, and maybe the Eye of the Cat in Long Beach, probably, that would be the one place that would have it. Protection Spells and Charms by Jade. Jade was the pen name of my witch mom, who taught me most things. Mercury dimes, absolutely. But Belinda, you get points, because I should have said Mercury dimes, and I must have slipped. So yes, the best 3 pieces of silver to have in that bag are Mercury dimes. You go to a coin store, they might cost you $1 or something like that for each of them to get them. It has Mercury on there. Mercury's got to travel. Belinda, you get the lollipop today, man. Let's all get together. All right, maybe. All right, we live in, clearly we live in Hollywood. That's why it's so noisy up here, but I like it better. I think it's Marta's power spot too. I do my best teaching. I do my best everything up here. Winter sucked. It was really windy and bitey. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was an LA winter, but still. John T. is Lucky Mojo not the place to get supplies anymore. John T., if you find any of those supplies still on my website, let me know, because I thought I purged them, and then every so often somebody will order something. Somebody just ordered a badger tooth. I got to make sure that's not on my website anymore, unless I can find a different distributor. Like Wittershins, we and friends of mine in the Apollo community, who were the friends that got me involved with Lucky Mojo in the first place, quite frankly, twisted my arm and badgered me and Marta to go to the Lucky Mojo Hoodoo Heritage Festival. And I met a lot of good friends there, a lot of people I'm still in contact with to this day, but some ugly things happened regarding the owners thereof, and a huge portion of the African witchcraft communities, and they split off from there. And, most importantly, my good friend Candela, he split off, and I think that was happening right towards the end of Candela's corner, or maybe right after that. But somewhere in that interim of the big blow up and hubbub that actually has made several other hoodoo festivals take off. Most specifically, the Conjure Gala was born off of that explosion that happened in the Lucky Mojo hoodoo communities, and they've been having their own festivals now, different sides of the country. Hopefully, more of those coming. But yeah, the hoodoos are doing it for themselves and broken off from there, so we broke off too. And right as we were starting Wittershins, this whole thing was happening, and it became some of our first news stories. You can go back to the endangered elephant in the room, and Tiger Gate. I think there was like maybe 5 episodes of this. A lot of hits on those episodes. Check those things out. Yeah, Tiger Gate. Tiger Gate was one of the end ones, but when it was originally happening, the endangered elephant in the room tells the stories of what was going on then, and things that come to light during times like those made our continuing relationship with that side of the fence untenable, to say the least. Things I did not know about those people. That kind of shit, you know. When shit starts flowing, the shit comes out that you didn't even know about. And the organized attempt of one of the owners to either start or keep a group on the internet functioning whose sole purpose is to teach teenagers to commit suicide to keep down for population control. That alone.
Why?
That alone.
Yeah.
We're parents. My daughter's in her 20s now. I've been through that. Just horrific. Only a person that is not a parent could ever do that, and I really hope that they never had an effect and never talked a teen into committing suicide. Yeah, she is a parent. I mean, she's still. She at least supported him. I don't know the extent of her involvement in that. Were you going to tell us something?
Oh, I'm trying to find the Wittershins logo on my phone.
Oh,
I got it.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
Carry on.
I like the bitmap one that we took a picture of on the screen. That's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the favorites so I don't have to look for it.
Yeah. All right. Marta has found the Wittershins logo. Hi, Uncle Birch. Hello, Rod. John T. Yeah. Some really good people out there with products. I know Amberzine Laguerre's got a line of stuff. Candelo's got a lot of stuff. Cambisa.org. Charles Porterfield. I don't know his website offhand, but I think he makes some products. Definitely a lot of services. Hello, Cherie, back from Mexico. I hope everything's going better. And you're really good with your family and stuff. The last time we spoke, parents, yes, yeah. That the suicide thing that just and there's so many stories out there about teens talked into suicide on the internet. What's that? Well, we got to see what the action is in the neighborhood.
There's a bunch of stuff on there, but I don't know if that's what the sound is coming from.
Weird. Well, somebody still has a PA system in their car. How retro. But nothing going on over there. Let's see. Yeah, there's that. And then after the big breakup and all the people leaving those groups, their festivals became very white. Let's say a little white guy. There was a secure scrying method under the very first black any advice? Okay, Rod. Well, Rod, if you don't know me, I had this thing that I picked up as I was growing up, and over the years, I'll probably throw this in your face here and there, but wisdom cannot be given. It's the search for knowledge that brings wisdom. So sometimes I'll tell you half a thing and make you search. So I'll tell you a little bit of a thing, and then you got to have to search. Because I have not seen, there's one person out on the internet, I can't remember who he is, but he does a lot of work with the Keys of Solomon. And really deep voice, and he sounds like the narrator from the old Hobbit when it was a cartoon. Really just fun to watch. He digs through the Solomonic magics so well. Now, all of us witches, we owe Solomon a great deal. Our ancestors borrowed from him a great deal. All the old witches did. It was one of the more trafficked magical systems in the world, probably because of its associations with Judaism and Christianity. The grimoires that had angels and secret names of Hebrew gods and that kind of thing, they tended to traffic better in the world than books with outright witchcraft. And they held lots of magical techniques that we can use, and our ancestors, a lot of times, were using them. We know at least into the 1700s when Charles Leland was studying the Tuscan witches. That's one thing he was able to find from the outside, is that they had two main sources of study material: the Gospel of Arabia, the Vangelo, and the Keys of Solomon, which was one book at the time. It was greater and lesser key, and it was in print. Yes, the grimoires should be mandatory reading. There are some heady shit, and mages back then spoke in a mage speak that's really long-winded and takes a long time to say something that we would say in a short sentence now. It's something Mom taught me way back then. First of all, it's going to be best to get these books in print or find them in PDF form, because Solomon's not around to lose royalties. Print them up, take the book, stick it under your pillow, sleep on it. In Solomon's work, he has a thing for scrying with the black mirror. I believe the original was for a crystal ball, but I've seen other people put the black mirror in there instead. Now, the black mirror or the crystal ball, one of the main things that give it force is that we're bending our vision. Our bent vision is the vision that sees mystical things. That's why we see shapes and things and ghosts, spirits, whatnot, out of the corners of our eyes. And most times we try and focus on them with the center of our eye. They're not there anymore because our vision's bent out this way. And there's ways to train that. Like, the proper gaze for a crystal ball or a black mirror is going to be like this. Chin almost to the chest. When you do that, you find you actually see stuff back here better too. And that's a magical gaze for so many things. And I just have to take my class before I tell you any more about that. A black mirror is bending your vision. A scrying mirror. A crystal ball is bending your vision. Even divination in a pool of water or tea is bending your vision. It's allowing clouds in the liquid to move around and form shapes, that kind of thing. And actually, our eyes can affect those things. It can, change the temperature and move, tea leaves around, if you will. In Solomon's work, what we need to look for is this thing with, I believe it was with a crystal ball initially, but you'll know it when it's specifically a wax block with very elaborate symbols carved into the middle of it. And there's 4 candles positioned at the 4 corners of the block. Now, having practiced this with just the measurements, not so much the symbol in the block and not so much wax, those exact measurements, in my experimentation, put the crystal ball in the heat waves of 4 different candles, which also bend vision, and that's how we're using candles for divination too. So the heat waves are coming into the center of the circle, meeting at the crystal ball, and now we're bending our vision all over the place, and that, in addition to the spirits and chanting in Latin or whatever you're doing, that's what's making the crystal ball work. Really. You're making it work. So, I'll give you that. You're going to have to go, look up Solomon and dig your way through that. Yes, Agrippa. Somebody mentions Agrippa. Yeah, you can find Agrippa in PDF. You can find all Solomon stuff in PDF. Everything's PDF out there, and those are it's old enough stuff that I don't consider it piracy at all, unless you're duplicating somebody's specific rewrite or take on that. Scrying would be a great witch school class. By the way, class number 6 totally rocks. Thank you, Cherie. Yes, Neophyte. You also win the prize. Carol Poke Runyon is the man I'm talking about. And I think he actually is the only person I know of to touch on that heat wave thing. Maybe not to the extent that I did, but he that is a workaround. I think you can watch his videos and he might give you the exact same measurements. But if you don't know, Carol Poke Runyon is he's a fascinating watch for that kind of thing. He's mostly doing Solomonic magics and the large ceremonial magics, but he has such a presence and voice and just stage presence with the way he does it. Fascinating watch, and you can learn a lot. Carol Poke Runyon. Let's see. And you have white candles, I'd say, for that operation. Okay, I think so. Okay, I'm trying to work my way through this, but I think people are having an argument or a discussion. Okay, they're having a discussion over there. Yeah, I think there's going to be in this. It's going to be. I think it might be the sigillum, a bunch of Hebraic god names and angels and even demon names, all working in harmony together. It's complicated magic. Yeah, just found Carol Pope Runyon haunting, and he also has. I think his Solomonic works are available on iTunes as an audiobook. They're really good listen. Had those before an update, and I don't know if I have those anymore, but just could listen to the guy forever. Let's see. Yes, I've been meaning to try and get him on Wittershins. I think I tried one channel. I think I have a couple more channels, but he is somebody I should try and get on Wittershins because he's a guy just made for radio. And just fascinating. Let's see. It's some Mercury knives. Yes. And cat's claws. If you have a cat, look around your house. You have cat's claws. They shed them all the time. Those are perfect. It's your cat too, so it's personal to you. Oh yeah, Cherie, I did answer that, but it may have been. I think you had to leave for a while. I think you were using a different name in the chat room then, but do you pour candles on the day of the ceremony? Usually not. Back when I was working in the shop all the time, I might, for a full moon ceremony that night. It would give me enough time to balance. It's like sometimes, depending on the conditions, how hot it is in the room or whatever, you can get like sinkholes in candles or, caves in the middle that you don't even see. I don't want something to go wrong right before spell time, so I'm usually a couple days before any planned spell. I'm getting my stuff together and making whatever I'm doing. I probably would have made the oil well in advance of that. Charged it. If not on the day of the ceremony, was the best day to pour candles. Well, okay, so that was hard to gauge. I try to adhere to magical timing as much as possible when brewing a thing and brew a thing during that magical time. Hard to specifically do that with candles because I have no idea what you're going to do. If you're going to order oil, well, the oil, I know what the oil's for. So I know what's a good time to brew the oil. Now, a candle, I don't know exactly what you're going to use that red candle for, or that green candle for, or what have you. But I do know, red's fire, green's earth, yellow's air, blue's water, and then different colors in between are different elements in between. So a lot of times I will try and do that. Usually, like, the time of day, a fire time of day, an earthy time of day, that kind of thing. So minimal magical timing for that. But, if it's a spell for me and something that I'm doing, and I know I'm going to be doing it a couple weeks in advance, I'm going to be starting that with that magical time, and usually, as soon as it's cool enough, then I'm going to start the dressing process and the loading process during that favorable cycle. So, you're watching Ask Uncle Birch 10. Thank you all for helping me, warm up for teaching more. I'm teaching a new class starting April 29th and technically May 1st at gumroad.com/witchschool. And this part of the job, my email box can be full. A lot of students have found me on Facebook, and my Uncle Birch page, or will be sending me messages on Facebook. So I'm constantly answering questions about witchcraft. And in my off time, I spend a lot of time trolling noob sites, looking and the billion really ridiculous questions are ones that I've answered a million times, or everybody's answered a million times, that I just never will touch. And some of them are some people are just being silly out there on the internet. But I look for those questions. Oh, that's an interesting question. Let's see, how would I answer that? So it's just me. It's public service, and it helps me stay in practice for the stuff I got to do. And then, actually, on Wittershins the last couple times, we're teaching some magic on our Witchcraft Without Bullshit part 1 and 2. So we got a Wittershins logo. Gonna make us some merch.
You know what? I have enough to do.
Okay.
You can make the merch.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just actually found the logo.
Mystic Spirit is a pain in the ass. It's too expensive. Like, a tank top will cost us $26. You guys want to pay $50 for a tank top?
Yeah, that's a good point. I've only made a couple things at a time. Mystic Spirit.
Yeah, you could do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is there real witchcraft magic without gods, goddesses, or spirits? Some people don't view things as gods or spirits. They're just working with forces, the forces of nature, forces of the universe, the planets, that kind of thing. There are, total non-religious and not really what I'd call spiritual versions of witchcraft out there. They are out there. A lot of times, a lot of people's witchcraft is a religion. A lot of people's witchcraft is a spirituality. Let's see, Rod. Okay, Neophyte. Not sure. It looked like Neophyte's asking a question, but it's broken up by all these other comments here. Who's brave need protection? Oh, Michael, Mikael. Yes. I guess that's right there. That's not really a god or a spirit, and there's a whole slew of magics working with angels and saints. And Michael's an angel and a saint, and we have the same name. So absolutely protection. There's whole schools of magic kind of disguised as Catholicism. People that practicing witchcraft in the church on Sunday. Nobody would know. The things they're muttering under their breath and saying in their head choose what they're doing. As far as anybody else, sees, they're, lighting a glass candle, saying a prayer. Let's see. Probably could do a question or two more. This one looks, relatively long. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch. You got a question about magic, witchcraft? Give me a shot. Well, a lot of most grimoires are written by Catholic priests. Neophyte says in there. Some of them are. Solomon definitely was not, but the method that Solomon teaches in his work is still the traditional method of making holy water in the Catholic Church. They're using the ritual straight from the Feast of Solomon. Well, also, we talk about Catholicism over here. Well, but my take of history, the Catholics came up with this idea, and pagans and people of other faiths figured out how to use those ideas, and some of them just to keep their practices while being under the thumb of the Catholic Church. But they did it a lot in Germany. The Romans, when the Romans became Catholic, they did this there, and really took off in Ireland, where the Catholic Church they did this process of converting old pagan gods into saints, because it was too hard to get the people to let go of their old gods. It was tenacious, it was ingrained, it was taught for generations. People just wouldn't let go of it. So the Catholics, believe they have that authority to take that pagan god, give him a little twist, a new name, call him a saint, have a similar story, and make it a saint. And so this made it easy for people of the pagan ilk to later seemingly be worshiping saints while worshiping the pagan gods. This didn't happen a whole lot to goddesses. Catholics also believed that they had the power to convert pagan goddesses into demons. And that's where the majority of the demons that we know of come from. Old goddesses turned dark and given scorn. A lot of them come back from that, but the demon form still seems to be a powerful form that still exists. One of the most notable exceptions, St. Bridget in Ireland. St. Bridget's Day is the same day as Bridget's Day. The pilgrimage to the hill of Tara and tearing off a piece of cloth from your clothing, saying a little prayer on it, tying it on a hawthorn tree, was what you did to worship Bridget. Happens to be the same exact ritual on the same exact day for St. Bridget. And then she gets a Bridget's cross, that's later. But the stories about her mysteries stay intact, whether it be saints, whether it be goddess. They came up with that idea. And it kind of turns around to bite them in the ass later, because a lot of paganism survives in the church, right under the radar. You see a lot of saints, you see a lot of angels, a lot of Mary. We're talking about Jesus as much. Holy Spirit, maybe. Let's see. Lily pads and something. Okay. Yes, many Goetic demons are ancient gods. Yes, not all pagan gods got converted. Those are some of the places where it happened the most. Germany, I think, is probably where it originally happened, because the Romans were doing that. But then Ireland was huge. And the Catholic Church all over the world had this thing about tearing down pagan holy sites and building temples on them, churches on them. And in Europe especially, we see the people hired to build these churches tend to be pagan, and they build the pagan gods and goddesses into the very churches themselves. That they would have to go in, and then they'd be going in there and worshiping those saints. So it's like, all right, well, we can't fight them, but we can act like we join them. Ishtar, Neophyte says Ishtar turned into Astaroth. I've also heard that about Astarte, that Astarte got turned into Astaroth, but Astarte and Ishtar often get linked too, so there may be some crossover there. But absolutely, that's one of the ones we know of, a goddess that got turned into a demon. Yet as the goddess has made a comeback, yet the demon exists. Yeah. Some chaos magic books say mirrors are kind of a crutch. Working. I'd call them training tools. All the tools are training tools. Ultimately, you have to be able to function without any of them. But training your mind. One time we played with these like funhouse glasses that were, you crack them and they light up around the rim of the glasses. I found that wearing these glasses trained my peripheral vision to look outwards. And after we did that for a little while, you take them off in a darkened room, all kinds of stuff. I've seen all kinds of stuff in the peripheral vision. So I played with those as a training tool to train that vision. You got to crawl before you can walk. All right, so I'll do one more question. Lots of stuff to do. It's early still today, 11:07. Thank you for joining me for Ask Uncle Birch. It's a really good questions, always is. I'm not seeing anything. If I don't get a question, then we'll just that tree. Ishtar was represented as the tree of the statue near Baal. That tree. Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.